is prenatal yoga safe? That really depends on your individual situation. Keep watching to learn how prenatal yoga might provide you benefits, reasons you might want to sit it out, and easy modifications for any yoga practice. Hey there folks, my name is Kate. I'm a registered prenatal yoga instructor with the Yoga Alliance. I specialize in supporting pregnant people and those who've recently given birth. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date on new videos. For the purposes of this video and talking about what's safe for prenatal yoga and is prenatal yoga even safe at all, we're going to think about the standard yoga poses that you see in popular yoga culture as physical activity. The bottom line is any physical activity carries with it some inherent risk, and calling it yoga doesn't just magically make it safe. So we'll be breaking that down in this video. Just keep in mind, physical activity, yoga poses and movements, for the purposes of this video, they're interchangeable. Let's take a look at the general recommendations for physical activity during pregnancy. The ACOG actually recommends 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week for a normal risk pregnancy. This can decrease your risk of cesarean section, preeclampsia, and gestational diabetes, and it helps you alleviate pregnancy-related discomfort, manage your stress and mental health. It can help the birth process, and it can also help speed up recovery. So if you've got the clearance from your doctor to do physical activity, it's definitely something you might want to consider adding in. There are certain conditions that might mean you need to sit out physical activity for your pregnancy, so it's important to talk to your provider to see what makes sense for you. Let's talk about yoga specifically. I'll do a deep dive going over ways to move your body that's supportive for you during pregnancy, but for now what I want us to focus on is stability. So during pregnancy, your body releases all of these hormones that loosen up your ligaments and tendons to help accommodate your growing body and your growing baby. This is a good thing, and we want to make sure that we're protecting all of those vulnerable joints during your pregnancy. So we really want to focus a lot on stabilizing, strengthening, especially areas around the hips, the shoulders, neck, any vulnerable areas that tend to get pulled. I know, you're like, but the baby has to get out. Don't I have to focus on opening? I want to open. Well, you're pregnant for 9 months probably. So you don't want to spend those entire 9 months trying to loosen things up. It's going to cause a lot of problems. You're going to have a lot of injury, and it's going to make recovery a lot more difficult. And this is where we kind of get into what types of yoga you might want to hold off on and what types of yoga you might find beneficial. So the first type of yoga that I would recommend putting a pause on during pregnancy is hot yoga. For one thing, the ACOG does recommend that you keep your core body temperature below 102 degrees, especially during the first trimester. You're also prone to dehydration because you've got a lot more blood volume. It just takes more liquid and water to keep a pregnant body hydrated. And during hot yoga, it tends to lead to this false sense of flexibility that can really increase your risk of injury. So if you're already in a state where dehydration is something that you need to watch out for and overstretching is something you need to watch out for, then maybe avoid hot yoga or anything that unnecessarily ups your body temperature and creates a lot of sweat. The other type of yoga that I might recommend holding off on is deep stretch and also yin for the same reasons. Yes, it is safe and it can be good to stretch during pregnancy, and we want to make sure that we're not overstretching all of those ligaments and tendons. They don't snap back like muscles do. It just creates more instability in the body. As a result, other muscles get tight, you have a lot more aches and pains, and you really risk soft tissue injury. That being said, everybody is different. I've certainly had clients who felt better with more stretching. So again, these are general recommendations. You always want to listen to your body, but I would definitely consider holding off on the hot yoga and deep stretch or yin yoga. You found the yoga class you like. Maybe it's not a prenatal yoga class and you're not sure how to modify during class for your pregnancy. So let's go over a couple of things that you might encounter during class. The first one is twists. What I recommend pregnant students do is to keep their belly button pointed forward and just twist from the mid back up. So you can see this in a revolved lunge, where you might twist all the way around to hook your elbow to the outside of your leg. What you can do is instead place your hand wide on a block and just move your upper torso. You'll see that's not really a very big twist or a very deep twist. It gives you lots of room for your belly. Now you're doing, or the rest of the class is doing cobra pose or upward facing dog. You don't want to do anything on your belly, it's too much pressure. There are a couple of ways you can do this. One, you can just stop in tabletop and take cat-cow. Or you can walk yourself back to a kneeling or seated position and take a little bit of a back bend there, kind of like a seated cobra, almost like you're going into a modified camel pose. And then for exercises or movements on your back, almost everything can be done propped up on a bolster so you're not flat on your back. You just want a little bit of an angle so that you're not flat on your back. It doesn't put too much pressure on your spine. I will go into this in more detail in another video, so make sure you're subscribed. The only things I would recommend totally skipping are perhaps bridge or plow pose or shoulder stand. Those both just put a lot of pressure on your neck, which is already very vulnerable with all of the pregnancy hormones and looking at our phone all day, looking at your computer all day. So maybe just pause on those exercises. I hope you enjoyed this video. We went over whether or not prenatal yoga is safe. Big surprise, there's no easy answer. It depends on your individual situation. So be sure to talk to your provider, find out what's right for you. And when you're looking for yoga classes, listen to your gut, work with teachers who have experience leading pregnant students, and always make sure to listen to your body.